Wait, one second.
Inside
So
the houses.
let me. So we're all ready to get into it, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the second episode of the It Do Be Like That podcast. I'm Garrett Gmoneymohawk. That's Fiesta Lord right there. You can call him that. You can call him Negro Panda. Oh, that name's dead though. We got DJ on the bottom
That's
right.
my slave name.
That's his government name. And then we got Arya on the bottom left. And we're just gonna shoot the shit, talk about what's going on. A lot has been going on this week, and like I was like saying, oh, do we even talk about stuff? But like it's so much of an impact for everything. Let me just like zoom in real quick. Wait till it gets down. Yo, that man, he zoomed. Did anybody else see that? It made it look like he was the Flash. Just like went left, right.
What?
Yeah, like
I didn't see it. I looked at the other monitor.
it lagged a little bit and just kept on going like that.
Because if I step left with my left hip, the bionic hip, it goes fast.
It's
I
like the
spent
$1
some
million
days,
man.
Yep.
We can rebuild him.
So I'm like, girl, get on my left side, baby girl, get on my left side.
So it looks like my DoorDasher went the opposite way of my house.
That happened to me last week.
Like,
Dude,
just
we
like
watched Amazon drive past our house like 4 times the other day.
this isn't drive past. He was right next to my
Okay.
house. He went the opposite way and left. I don't know if you can see that, right?
Yeah.
See how close my
little
house
red-
and the restaurant is?
Red dot. Yeah. Yo, maybe real talk. He probably went to go pick up somebody else's order to both. Something. I don't know. I don't know why he do it if you're right next
Well,
to.
actually, what happened is he got halfway through eating yours, and he's like, "Well, I better get him another one."
Yo,
this
why
one's
didn't you
so
just go
good.
walk and pick it up if you're that close?
I didn't know where this restaurant was. This is a new place I'm trying out.
Okay.
I was gonna say, you guys both playing 14 with Garrett or what? Final Fantasy?
I am.
I know I'm not.
Yeah, alright, ain't
I have
about
yet
that
to-
MMO.
To
Like,
dive in. I've been playing the hell out of Call of Duty, man. Warzone, dude.
DJ was
Feel
saying that it might not be for him after I was explaining to him Savage content. He doesn't need to do Savage content. I was just telling him about it. And says, no, that sounds like too much for me. Like, just saying that you need to get into formations and stuff.
It's like, did you used to raid in a while?
Hardcore. I know all about
Did
it.
you
Yeah.
did you do like heroics or like mythics or anything like that?
Mythics, yep.
It's about the equivalent of like, I would say mythic, but then again, I haven't actually done a savage raid yet. I've only done
Okay.
normals. But yeah,
Even early on, there's raids where like it was basic, but like Next Ramus was the
yeah, I
first
remember that.
raid where like you had to stand in certain spots because the boss was like had a positive negative charge like a battery. So if you had a minus sign like above your head, you had to go to the negative area of the map wherever you're fighting. And if
Mhm.
you didn't do that, like if you're the one guy who sparked it or whatever, everyone wiped.
Yeah.
It's like I'm good.
Yeah, it's pretty much
That's why
like
like
that.
I was like I'm just like I've always been like the stand back and shoot guy, the hunter or something, or like
Yeah.
the mage.
Mhm.
Like I'm not gonna be an off tank. I'm not gonna be an MT. Damn sure I'm gonna be a healer. I'm not gonna get responsibility. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna shoot shit. I'm gonna blow it up, and then when we leave, hopefully I get loot.
Yeah,
feel that.
mainly
I played background.
like
I played
that.
backgrounds like DKP. Like you need a DKP to like roll
I-
for an item.
I never played when DKP was a thing, but I know about it.
Dude, if you didn't have 11 hours to sit down and blow out, don't even try. Because you were going to be on with your guild and you were going to wipe 50 times until you got it.
Feel that.
So like the
But
rating.
that game was fun for PvP, but that's why I liked it for.
Yeah. Oh my god, I remember DJ gave me like $5 to play PvP on his account while he was going at like when he was going to like school and stuff like that, or like when he would work. He gave me that, and my friend Mike, he was like, "Oh, you're doing that? I'll give you $10 to go on my account and do some PvP for that." And like he was getting weapons like the pig sticker, like the old
It's
like
because
stuff.
the way it ran before, it wasn't a 2-week rollover honor system. You literally had to wait the whole month for the season to end,
Yeah.
and you might not have enough honor. There was no
It
meter
took forever.
or gauge that showed you how much honor you had for the week. You literally had to be like, oh, I played 20 games, so like maybe I got 50 honor today, and like calculate it and like put it in the book, and like maybe you got it. But now it's like you get honor.
Nah.
Now
That's
it's live.
much.
You get honor off the cuff. Every match, you can look up and see how much honor you got.
And also now there are like little things that like if you play this game, you will get a bonus, and like there's a lot more bonuses and like little kind of quests, like dailies and stuff. There'd be dailies back then, but they'd be like way smaller of a margin, and they would be a lot more scarce because you now get like dailies in like each place. For each one of the PvPs, it's not just like a random. I think it used to be random. I'll do Warsong Gulch or do Arathi Highlands and do all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a rotation. Speaking of dailies, do you guys remember the Netherring mounts?
Netherring
First,
rep,
like,
yeah.
purple mounts. Yeah, when they had dailies for those, I always played on PvP servers, so you'd be out like trying to grind for the crystals, the Apex crystals, Apex's crystals, I think they're called.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably needed thousands of them in order to get close to buying your Drake. You go to land out there, and there's 84 alliance, and you're dead. You're dead.
Yeah.
And then they corpse camp you, and you're like, oh cool, so I'm done grinding for today. I'm done today.
Can't do anything about it because you need all your friends to show up and fight too. It turns
Just
into a
go
big
roll deep.
war. Yeah, because you just want to do a quest.
Yeah, you hit up your
Yep.
guild and like, hey, I need a couple people, some bodyguards.
Yeah, like 5 of y'all, real quick.
Yeah, it's just too much, especially leveling back then because there's no like there's no allied zones where you had to like do flash PvP. That was like the way that you would fight people.
And you have to
like,
flag yourself.
and like it was just ridiculous because like people would just hard camp there, and if you had a if you gave up and did res sickness, there'd also be a person in the graveyard just waiting, and it's too much. There's a whole like camp chain.
It got bad to where like if full on guilds were doing a guild run, we had this one instance called Encourage. It's like I think it was like before Burning Crusade, but anyway, it would be a 40-man raid, so you'd have it's already hard to organize like 10 people.
Yeah,
Get 40 people together for this raid, and another guild would show up because they found out that it was your raid time and wipe everyone out.
well,
And you're like, all right, everybody got reses. You end up like a 2-hour res waiting period for you inside the instance.
yeah, like all the raids in Final Fantasy though is they are 8 people, or like the regular raids, right? There's 2 types. There's 24-man raids, and then there's a regular raid which is 8. And how they work is that you just do a boss. That's it. It's just like they split up into sections. That there's like 4. It's like a big thing where you fight 4 bosses, and each little thing that you sign up for is just straight up like 1 boss. And so they have so many mechanics that it'll make the fight last like 15 minutes. Like just you gotta get in a position. If everybody doesn't get in their position, it will be more repercussions than just one person dying.
Just what is it called? Just don't stand in the fire or whatever.
Yeah, but way worse. It's like don't stand in the lightning bolt, and sometimes you gotta stand in the lightning bolt, and if you don't at this time, then 2 other people will die, and it's just like this whole thing. This is too much sometimes, but I enjoy it. It's like a lot of. I feel the more that you do it, the more you actually get the hang of it, and because it's just like more memory. It's just more of a memory type fighting. I enjoy.
Your DoorDash man, like figure out where he's at yet?
No, he's getting further and further away.
Still, huh? You can't text him or anything like that? Like, where are you going?
Sensitive of like, hey, like, where are you going?
My food, like, what?
Because it's like on the way. I guess I can't necessarily just cancel right now. So this is why I blame you, Garrett, for all of this.
You made your decision after we already said that you were gonna go get it.
You influenced the decision by telling
influenced
people.
it?
Yes. I was just gonna go get food, and you're just like, oh, why not just DoorDash? I'm like, finally, I'm like thinking about like, okay, I guess I'll DoorDash.
Yeah, Garrett has an ulterior
food.
motive. He probably has stock in DoorDash. He's just trying to bump his numbers.
That man would have got food. He would have had it already.
Yeah.
Bad review.
I would have got my
Joke's
food
on you,
40
pal.
minutes ago.
So right now, the world is crazy at the moment. There's riots in Minnesota due to injustice that happened, and just we have a friend that actually is in like who lives near there and worked at the Target that got raided before. And I think that how everything is going, it's just crazy because everybody, like DJ said earlier, we had to get into like a curfew or like in La Mesa, which is, I want to say, it's about like within an hour from where me and DJ actually live, and it's crazy seeing like first we were in a quarantine, we had to stay indoors, and then right when stuff is slowly getting open and people are being out more, one of the things that happens is just like riots and goes crazy from like this huge event that didn't need to happen. And like how do you think this is gonna affect this, and how long do you think the riots are gonna be? How long
Well,
do you think all this stuff is
I
gonna
don't
last?
I don't think the way it is right today is going to last long.
Mm,
But unfortunately, what it is the reason it seems so crazy is everyone was already wound up really, really tight
yeah.
and in their houses and not doing anything and not going anywhere, right?
Mhm.
And losing money and losing their jobs and losing occupation. And then you get this giant pool of anger and frustration, right? It's already sitting there.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, George Floyd, tip of the iceberg, you know, camel that broke the straw that rolled the camel's back.
Mm,
It just gave him one more reason for me to go out and do something crazy. On top of anger, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's a very, very shit situation. And now I'm not seeing the reason to steal and loot. So I find myself on standing on the fence, like, of course, the injustice that happened needs to be answered for 100% right off
Yeah.
the gate, right? But to go and burn your own home down, your own city,
Yeah.
and making things even worse on top of what's going on. Not to mention the spike of COVID. Everyone's
thinking
okay
about
right
that,
now, but in
yeah.
two weeks in time, you're talking about hundreds of people congregating again and touching each other and yelling. And whether you have a mask on or not, you're around strangers all day all night long. Okay,
Yeah.
dude, someone's gonna let's say 5 people get sick. That's 5 more people than we needed. So I don't know, man. As far as the riots and stuff going and the looting, that's gonna end soon, probably. But as far as us staying at home and the quarantine rules, we're talking about the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my opinion anyway.
Because
So
like
we'll see how the cycle breaks. We'll see what happens. But as far as like getting into cops killing my people and people of color in general, dude, that's a whole nother thing to talk about. You know, it's really hard to.
Mhm.
I could talk about that for hours. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I just hope that the energy gets reset for sure because it's really shit right now.
Yeah, everybody else is wound up from everything before, and this is just they have more amplified energy to pretty much divert it to this, and it's a little crazy. I think
What's sorry, go ahead.
no, well, what I was gonna say is I think that it's pretty crazy, and I know that there are good cops and stuff like that, right? But
Right.
it really sucks that the main time that there's a cop brought up, it is usually the cop doing something bad and stuff like that, because you don't see like the things like there are cops that patrol and they give to the youth of their like neighborhood and all that stuff, urban neighborhoods, all that stuff. They try to fight against this, and then it just takes 1 or 2 bad people in their whole like field
One bad
just to
apple
ruin it.
spoils a bunch, you know.
It
Oh,
ruins the whole thing.
You know,
Yeah, because
it's
I mean,
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna be like, it's just like the thing is it's like obviously with any type of media, it's basically just bad news, bigger press on it.
Mm.
So
Yep.
and also not that a lot of people for the most part is like a cop not killing people generally is like that's their job. They shouldn't necessarily be doing that, is to keep peace and order or enforce the law.
Mm.
So at the beginning, I say at the beginning, but initially, with social media, like you just said, it it takes a negative energy, like a bad post about a cop, right? That post will get 1 million views. Okay, the cop who goes over there and gives Miss Harrison a loaf of bread because he's a good guy, that don't get no views. It's the same typical story of misery loves company. Everyone wants a story. Everyone wants the video. So, hopefully now, man, people start putting their phones down and using their voices. You know, not just standing there recording stuff. So, I heard one comment about it. You know, why didn't anyone stop the cop that had a knee on him? Why didn't anyone tackle him? And I think that's where it's at now. If an injustice is seen again out loud and someone's getting wronged in front of them, cops will get tackled. People will get touched. If Garrett was down there or the knee on his back, you know what I mean? Like, what do you do with yourself? What do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard. It's a very, very, like I said, you can either be silent and do nothing and then nothing gets changed, or you can say something. But right now, it's the other side where it's too loud.
Definitely.
I want to bring one thing up, and it's not to like undermine DJ or anything about what was said. It was not the fact that the knee was on the guy's back. It was the fact that it was on this man's neck, and not just on his neck for any moment. It was for 8 minutes.
Yeah, up to
8 minutes that this man screamed for help. Nothing.
Like he was screaming
None
for
of
his
the other
mother.
cops. His mother is dead, and this man was crying for his mom.
Yeah.
None of the other cops, any of the onlookers, people with phones recording the situation, no one got up to do anything. That man died suffocating under that man's knee.
Yeah.
It's wild, you know.
What I heard, I'm not sure if it's factual. I didn't fact check it, but I heard that the cop who put his knee on him actually knew him at a prior job.
I heard that too. I don't know. I can
because
check that up.
The cop ran security at a building, and that guy worked in that building. Some other lady was talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, like everything that's going on. The actual lawyer for the case is a lawyer for another thing that happened actually a month or like I want to say a month and a half ago. There's this kid who was jogging, and for a couple weeks he had stopped at this house that was being constructed, and I forget where this happened, but one day he went over there, and then there's these two guys who chased him in a car as he was jogging, and then they shot him. They just did that. His video. Yeah. It's the same. It's the same.
Recently.
Yeah, it's the same lawyer.
Like police officers.
It was two white guys. It's like
okay.
They kind of look like hillbillies.
So that lawyer is this lawyer working this case?
Yeah, it's the
George
same.
Floyd?
Yeah, it's the same lawyer.
Wow.
Because he was trying, like, he takes mainly cases like this, stuff like that. Yeah. I just think that it's very crazy on how this happened, and then obviously the target got like just. So did the target get burned down, or did it get like just wrecked? Because
it's burned down, I'm pretty sure.
Because I know AutoZone.
It was a ball of flame last time I saw it.
Because I know that an AutoZone got burned down.
Well, here in town, here in La Mesa, they burnt down the Chase Bank.
Really?
Yes.
Like that's crazy.
La Mesa is probably 35 minutes away from us. Down south.
Have you heard about? At least I think there was like, I can't remember where it was at exactly, but there was one shop owner. I think they put out a tweet or some type of social media response where like his business got burned down, whatever. But then he said, I can't remember what were the exact words. I need to find it. But he basically said like, "Let it burn. There needs to be justice." I was like, "Holy shit, that's pretty."
I think that's crazy because like I don't see how anything.
The other side of that is people
like,
who work their whole lives for businesses.
I mean, I'm glad that like he thinks that like there needs to be a, justice for what happens, but like I feel like it's wrong in the sense of like don't encourage people to burn down locally owned businesses or any generally no businesses. But I mean, like like some random person who's been like, having their business for 10 years, so burn it down. It's like, that's not going to help anyone.
Yeah, like I don't understand how people see it as in if they let's say like whenever there's someone this happens and stuff like that, and like they'd start rioting, that's not helping the image for like the protests at all. That does more damage than it actually doesn't. Like violence begets violence. Just too much
I mean,
of doing that. Like go on.
I agree, but it's like at the same time, like you see so much like non-violent protests, and it doesn't seem to like get anywhere much. Like that's I guess like one of the reasons why this is become so violent. So it's like it's kind of like it does begets violence, but like I don't know, maybe this is the thing that starts getting like some type of change.
Yeah.
Whether it's small or big. I mean, like I don't know personally, just because I have no idea with these things, but it's just like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like I feel like with like so much stuff, it's like for example, like the cop, like I just feel like it's just like lack of like I don't know, like going through the proper order of things. Like for example, with the cop, it's like I don't know exactly how the system works, but I feel like there could be some way of like making it more strict in terms of like how you bring people into like the police force. Same thing with people, like how some people believe in restricting guns, like not making it legal, but make it a lot more difficult to get.
So having like bigger background checks and stuff like that.
Yeah, or maybe even a longer process. It's like you know, like make sure like they're consistent. Like, for example, like, and like let's think of it like for like a driving test. You just need to drive well enough to pass your one test, and then afterwards, it really doesn't matter how poorly you drive, you still have that right. It's like, so if you do something over a long period of time where they have to be consistently like good at these things or these qualities for either being a police officer, owning a gun, driving, so many things, is like
you're saying you want like a consistent background check like every couple of years or something like,
or like at least like a test that goes over extremely long course of time. Like I guess they have like police academy or stuff like that, but it's like
I think I know what you're talking about because like look at all the movies we see. They always put like the cop through a psych eval, or psychological evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so let's say this guy's on the force 5 years. Okay, nothing bad happens. Maybe on that 6th year, has to shoot a guy. Okay, in a case or something.
Yeah.
He now he needs to get evaled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What process is happening with all these cops? Is there such a shortage of cops that the process is pushed faster? What is the process? Is he a cadet for a year? Like how quick is he coming from high school to running the streets?
Yeah.
What's in between there? Last time I checked, when you're 18, you go to academy, and you can be on the force. Academy is that year. You can be in a cop car 20 years old. Okay. Does a 20-year-old even know how to talk to a 45-year-old? I'm not even talking crime. I'm talking regular scruples, regular respect across the board. You know what I mean? So, and it's hard. It's very difficult. I don't know, man. It's the question I want to bring up to you guys is, what do we do moving forward? Do we do anything different? Because us 4 individuals, I know us as far as like good guys, right? Good people, and we're all 4 of us are also, what do you call it? Culturally different. We're not white people.
Yeah.
What can we do inside of our voices to make it better for the future? And speaking personally, like for me and Garrett, we were raised in a mixed household, so we don't have the kinds of, I won't say rules, but we don't have the attitude to like be negative towards another race. We don't have it in us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Unfortunately, there are people that are mixed race that are negative towards other races. You know what I mean? But I just never saw it an issue to be racist, man. It's something else. And I'm 34, and I hope when I'm 84 that we're not going through this shit.
Yeah.
But look at people like my grandma who's 84 years old soon. Dude, born in the 20s, she's seen some shit. She's been in church with Dr. Martin Luther King. Like, she's seen it.
Oh yeah.
And here she's coming up on her 90s. She has to see the same injustice in her life.
Yeah.
Again. And not only again, goddamn, continually.
Yeah.
The list is crazy.
Yeah, there's
I just saw a list of people. I just saw a list of people who been killed like this year. Dude, it is gut wrenching, man. And it ages from ages 12 to 80. Like, it sucks.
Yeah,
man.
it doesn't matter what age or anything like that. It's just.
So hopefully this guy does the time. He, looks like he got the
it's like
third degree murder charge, but
I think it was third degree manslaughter. So I think the maximum for his sentence is 25 years, which I personally think he should be held accountable for longer because he knew what he was doing. This wasn't an accident. No one accidentally holds their knee on someone's neck for 8 minutes.
No, absolutely not. He's not an idiot either,
No.
Yeah, I mean, like even if it is an accident, that's like negligence. And I mean, like, I don't know, being as a police officer, you should not be negligent like that. It's like, I don't know, I feel like a cop doing these things, I feel like it should almost, I don't want to necessarily say it should be like they should be charged worse than like a random person that does something like this, but it's like, I don't know, it's like, this is a person that's supposed to be like an example for safe or be a symbol of like, safety. A police is around, a cop is around, you should be safe.
Yeah, when you're growing up, I mean, I grew up with the DARE program, so I grew up with like instilled in my mind until 17 years old was like, cops are the coolest guys. Cops respect them. Cops are cool. Cops are here to be for you. They're there to protect you, and you should feel safe when they're around. That was what it was. Now, you hear the word cop, you got kid. Oh, where was I? I was somewhere. I was somewhere, and I heard a kid say like "fuck the cops," and the kid was like 7 years old. That's broken, and it ain't even that kid's fault.
Yeah,
it's just what's everywhere. You know,
his environment.
Yeah, in the environment, man, and look how many eyeballs are on everything now. You can't say do nothing that's not going to be seen. So
yeah, it's definitely a stressful job too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say it's a hard job
because you don't know if there's gonna be like pretty much like some people don't know when is the next time that like something bad's gonna happen and stuff like that, and it's really ridiculous.
That we've given them higher responsibility, though.
Yeah,
we were raised. We were always told that the guy's a cop, so he knows what he's doing. So like those situations he gets put in. That's what I was thinking. That goes right back to the training part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, hire the person. Don't hire the employee. Yeah.
It's like it's just like basically a job. Like you want to hire someone that's competent in doing what they need to do, and obviously it's different. And now, especially with everything going on, it's like you need a police officer who's like, I don't know if this is the correct word for it, I'll just say it, but like racially sensitive. Like they're not obviously not a racist, no prejudice towards any races.
Right. 2,
calm. You don't want someone who just gets angry easily because they have a firearm. And
right. So you don't take a guy who's, let's say he was born and raised in Mississippi. Okay. He's a cop, best in his force. Mind you, take him and drop him off in the middle of Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He grew up completely different on side of the different cloth. On top of that, cops are they don't ever work in the city they live in. It's against their rules or whatever. So I don't know, man. It's the same reason that brings up another thing to me is like they hire white teachers to go work in the Brooklyn schools. You know what I mean? And then you have these kids in school who grew up not necessarily disrespecting white people, but not knowing like, that's my teacher now, I need to talk to this person because they're a person of authority.
Yeah.
So, and then you have that let's say not black or not colored person grows up in a I guess a uncultural setting as far as like they grow up that way, and then they're a teacher in front of 30 black kids, they're not going to know how to even react to talking to these children.
Gonna know how to like reach the kids in general. You know?
Exactly. And then it's this vicious cycle.
Yeah. Seen that in, I always tell that story when I was in second grade, how there was like a white teacher who was from Texas, and pretty much there's another African kid who was like right outside of her door. He's a 5th grader, I'm a 2nd grader, and then she just leans into me and says, Garrett, since you're also African American, your problems probably relate to his, so could you please talk to him and see what's wrong? And I didn't think anything of it back then, being like in 2nd grade, and just like looking back at it now, that's not how it should be. It should, like, we're all people, like it's easy to like reach out to a person, and you don't need to be a specific race or anything to like there's understanding between like similar races and stuff like that, but you don't need to be the same race to ask it if everything's okay. Like, it's just a lot of people look at all this stuff in a very one-track mind, and definitely there's not going to be like everybody is the same or anything like that. No, it's never going to come into like an equal effect, because there's so much heritage and there's so much of a background for every race and stuff like that, that you can't just tell them to like forget it or anything like that. You gotta just have mutual respect for one another, not as, but at the same time, don't be blind to their race, but respect them as a person and respect their beliefs and everything like that, like their background.
Yeah, that's what needs to come first. Is I'm gonna judge you on how your persona is.
It's like
your attitude, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like judge the person, not like the genetics.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't remember. So like there's been a lot of stuff. Everyone's been posting stuff on my Instagram. There's one pretty good quote. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was based along the lines like, don't say I don't see color. Say I see your color and I appreciate it and I'm trying to learn from it, basically.
Right.
It's something along those lines. I can't remember the exact quote, but
I never really agreed with the phrase "I don't see color."
Yeah, it's a stupid phrase. It's just being ignorant. That's what it is, essentially. But I don't know. Like now with this, I've actually like it kind of changed my opinion about like people going through their social, and like I don't know how much people do this, whether in jobs or in this specific case, police, but like actually going through all of their social posts to see if there's anything that's like a red flag, like, or even as small as like a racist like comment or something like that. Like I feel like, especially if trying to be a police officer, those would be extremely important things to look at. Whether the person posted as a joke or not. Because listen, they may have said it was a joke to you, but then 5 years later, could have been this guy right here.
Yeah.
That's also the importance of hiring diversity, getting everyone in the same room that's after the same goal, but not necessarily from the same roots,
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. And remember that like some companies take that stuff for granted though. Like there's this one, I think it's like a fashion company, and they hired a like one of their people who was this woman, but she had like a photo or on like her Instagram or something, it was just her in a bikini and all that stuff, and they're like, nah, we can't have this working for us. And some companies are just really, really dumb when it comes to that.
Some stuff are like definitely over the top, but like I feel like I feel like you gotta look for things that are like related. Like for example, like I remember when it was Kevin Hart with the Oscars or whatever.
Oh yeah, he said the gay thing, right?
Yeah, like
yeah.
It was like a 2009 tweet or something.
Yeah, it was a super long tweet and everything, and it was just like, oh, that was weird for that case.
Yeah.
To me, I think it was also kind of like Was he joking? I think I'm not too sure.
I think it was a joke.
Yeah, he said he was gonna smash a dollhouse.
Yeah.
Over his kid's head or
His
something.
head if he came out gay. Yeah.
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 I was like, in that instance, I don't know. I think that was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Look how it's ebbs and flows, man. As far as when it comes down to the comic thing of it, like, I don't know. When it comes to being funny, you don't touch, you don't touch racism. You don't touch kids. You don't touch the pedophile jokes and stuff like that. You don't touch that shit.
But like back in the 90s and like early 2000s, that's what everybody.
But damn, man, there are still comics that go for it. Go for the jugular. So.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But then you see that they're actually kind of crazy, kind of like Louis C.K. That one. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
When they got him. Oh, that
did you see the jokes about? Did you watch Pete Davidson stand up?
He did. I didn't watch
it.
His first like 30 minutes is like 20 minutes, mind you, was about Louis C.K. How he came to SNL, and he was trying to tell on Pete Davidson because Pete Davidson smokes weed a lot, and so Louis C.K. was telling Lorne Michaels, you need to get rid of this guy. All he does is smoke weed back here, and then months later, all that stuff happens with Louis C.K. and the girls in the hotel room, and he gets in trouble, and then Pete Davidson's like, yeah, man, screw that guy, man. I hate that guy. Because he tried to get him fired from SNL, and then that happened. So then the energy shifted on his ass.
That just seems insane to me. Like someone who does such a crazy thing, and then like basically starts yelling at people not to do something. I don't know. That just seems like such a weird concept to me. Like,
well, it's called the smoke screen. You know what I mean? Like, if you do something shitty, you just try to get all the potential attention off of yourself.
I feel like that's getting more attention on you because you're confronting someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who knows?
So let's get into something a little bit more like lighter, I guess, and let's talk about some video games. Pretty much. So Valorant comes out actually like next week.
Oh yeah. I haven't played in like
really?
No, it's in like 2 days actually.
Yeah, like this week it is coming out. Pretty much. I haven't played it in a while
later on
because I haven't played it in like 2 weeks pretty much. Mainly because I don't know, I've been waiting for the full release. They also gave out like characters. They showed who the new character's gonna be. It looks like she has a kind of like a lifesteal mechanic or something like that. Like whenever she kills the person, she like takes their soul or something. She pretty much looks like Sombra.
Character for Valorant?
Yeah. No, she looks like Sombra. She's in purple and she's Latina. And all that stuff. I just see Sombra every time I see her. I think her name's like Rayana or something like that.
Something, yeah.
She looks pretty interesting. But yeah, Valorant comes out. And also a game that came out like last week actually was Minecraft Dungeons. Me and Panda have been playing that.
I watched the trailer for that. It looks pretty neat.
Yeah, like me and Panda have been playing it, and like we're like, oh man, I didn't think that we were gonna get frustrated from a Minecraft game and all that stuff.
Because it's not Minecrafty, right? It's like
Diablo.
Yeah,
it's Minecraft Diablo essentially.
Okay.
But yeah, it's $20 if either of you guys wanted to play it. I suggest it.
Fun. It's a good little time sink. I recommend it.
Yeah.
There was one game that I saw that I was kind of interested in, or like I guess it came out like I think the release date was about a week ago. Also, I think it was that Predator Hunting Grounds.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
They got Arnold for it too.
Gameplay of it or anything. Like, this is actually pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Like it reminds you of like Evolve in a sense.
Yeah, it looks like Evolve, but like
it's 1v4 basically, and then like I think if no one knows, it's just basically like as the 4 people, like you either have to kill the predator or you go through these objectives, like going through like these camps, killing. Then there's random NPCs. You have to complete these objectives, and eventually you could escape, or you can kill the predator. But yeah, so and like one thing is like I know like before was like I wasn't really too into the Predator games because I feel like the shooting was bad. This one feels like looks like a legit like shooter game.
Yeah.
Like it almost looks like Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Man, I remember playing the old like Alien vs Predator games and stuff like that. But yeah, like Minecraft Dungeons, it's playing it. There's like builds and stuff, but it's less. It's more RNG than like Diablo, I'd say, because you know how like in Diablo you could fix things, like you can just re-roll and stuff. You can't re-roll in Minecraft Dungeons. That's my one problem with it. But then again, it's a Minecraft game. It's like you can't expect the world from it, but I'm enjoying.
Can't really expect it to be too in depth because I would like to think that it's more aimed towards kids.
Yeah, it's definitely more casual.
But then there's gonna be the people coming in like, okay, I'm trying to work on a full cooldown build. I'm trying to do all this stuff, and it's like, man, you're really looking into this to the point where it's like, But you also gotta remember, most of the kids, Minecraft came out in like 2009 in the beta. All those people, it's 11 years later. So
yeah,
but
like all
there's
the
still kids playing it now, also.
Yeah.
Especially because there's so many Twitch streamers, YouTubers about it. It's still getting an audience.
But like all the streamers and stuff there, they pretty much grew up with the game and stuff like that, and they also are part of the audience, and they're gonna go into it a lot deeper. I suggest getting it if you wanted it.
That boy made so much money on the game.
Which one?
Notch.
Whoever made
Notch?
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notch made.
Didn't he make $1 billion sales
Selling
like years ago?
He sold it for $1 billion. Or something
That's
like
so crazy.
Yeah, because Microsoft was like, oh well, let me scoop that, and then that happened. It's ridiculous.
Hey, scoop it all you want. I don't want this
You
anymore. I don't want to work.
I mean, if you get $1 billion, like I'll sell it for $1 billion.
Yeah.
I'd sell anything for $1 billion. My soul.
I don't know about all that.
Would you sell a limb?
What limb?
Your left leg, and it's gone at the hip though.
Whole leg for $1 billion?
Yeah.
I'll do my right leg. I'm a lefty.
At the hip though, it's gone.
Can I do my right leg?
Sure, why does it matter? Well, what's between your right and left leg? Why does that matter?
I'm lefty. Like when I like kick and do everything, I use my left leg generally.
Okay.
Would you get rid of a limb for $1 billion, Panda?
I like my limbs. I like being mobile. You know. I don't think
Dude,
I can.
Take my left arm and take my right arm. Sorry, my left arm, my tattoo arm. Take my right arm, and I'll have the baddest ass. I could spend 90 million on a new hand.
I want to get rid of
990 million, 910 million left to go. You understand?
But
I have the best hand ever.
Are robotic limbs like that good right now? Like, can it be like what you see in movies and shit?
No, man. What you see on
not like
TV,
that, but like there's some good ones out there.
What you see on TV is just a guy.
If I make one right here with a motor right here or the piston.
Yeah, like that's what I was about to say. Like, have you seen that guy who goes on the news and then like he's showing off his arm and then he like flicks a switch and it just goes and he's like, oh god, I gotta turn this off. I'm like,
yeah, but mine would have a button back here on near the elbow because I don't want to hit it on accident, And inside here, you've seen One Punch Man? You know the guy Genosuke?
Genos, yeah.
Yeah, it is like a flashlight inserted in my hand, and then I have another button over here, and it has like it's a lube button, interior lube.
So it just seeds lube in the hand.
Yep,
yeah.
And it's never too much. I don't want to mess.
Yeah. You have like little settings if you want to.
Right.
Yeah. Just like straight up.
And if it gets messy, there's a vacuum. There's a vacuum right here on the base of my hand.
A vacuum, huh? How much room do you have on this hand?
I mean, it's a $90 million arm.
It's interchangeable. Like you could like upgrades like. So you could take it off, and it could be like a vacuum.
Put like a foam finger instead there. Just like, oh my
foam
god.
finger?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if you want to go to a sporting event.
Robotic cybernetic. You're putting a foam finger.
For sure, being all those weird pornos, bring in the arm. I'll be in there, and have like I don't know why I'm trying to. Let's see. Be like this. Be like this.
Oh, he's Mm-hmm.
I walk out there like this. My arm looking like this. All right, guys. Where's the talent?
You're just gonna
And
have
she
it.
comes over and she's like, are you the actor? I'd be like, yeah, check out the arm, bitch.
You're just gonna have the Dildozer 9000 on your arm, huh?
The dildos are 9,000 exactly.
Okay.
Get it now.
Built-in
Built-in vacuum. Suction.
And she's like, what else does that arm do? And I'd be like, well, check this out. And I just turns it to a bike and I just ride off.
Yeah.
A small bike, yeah, very small bike.
Small bike.
Have you ever seen that guy ride the world's smallest bike? It's so funny. His bike's probably the size of my phone.
Oh wow.
It's an old dude and he's standing on it like this.
Okay, going back on topic.
Look it up. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Going back on
Go ahead.
topic. Yeah, we're talking about games that are coming out. I don't know how we diverted to having a flesh hand or anything like that, fleshlight hand. But yeah, you know what?
Came
that
out
happens.
for Elder Scrolls. Did you guys know any more about that?
Is there like new Elder Scrolls coming out, or are you talking about the old?
It's supposed to be 1,000 years in the past, before Skyrim. And it's more surrounded about you challenging and defeating the vampire guys, the vampire world.
So another thing that I have been thinking about, I've been trying to find out what's a better flavor. Is blue or purple a better flavor? You know, because you got the purple juices, you got the blue juices.
Blue,
So-
obviously.
I mean,
Hands down, no contest, no discussion.
What's up with
Next
purple?
topic.
Oh, that's it.
So purple has grape, right? Grape's the lockdown on that one. Okay. But blue for me has always been like the cotton candy stuff or the bubblegum flavor stuff.
And the ice stickler stuff.
Personally,
Like blue raspberry.
the Otter Pops. Personally, I like blue. But I've had amazing moments with grape soda though. You can't touch the soda game. Purple has the soda game, and blue has the candy game, I think.
The only purple thing that I will say like I really enjoyed would be like Kool-Aid. You know?
Purple Kool-Aid?
Yeah. Like great.
What about like
Kool-Aid.
Crush? Crush soda.
For Crush, I'm more of an Orange Crush.
Orange Crush guy?
Yeah.
And I just prefer normally red drinks. Red
Yeah.
Gatorade, Mountain Dew Code Red. Trying to think
And
what else.
if this was like Fanta, I'd be strawberry Fanta all day.
Ooh, strawberry Fanta for real.
Or pineapple.
It just hits differently.
Yeah.
I don't really like the cherry flavors,
Mm,
but I don't like cherry surprisingly.
candy cherries like Jolly Ranchers, the red
Yeah.
ones, man.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Just the red ones, best, in my opinion.
I've never been like a fan of like artificially red candies and drinks. Only really like Hawaiian Punch. But when it comes to like artificial cherry or even like regular cherry, I always stayed away from stuff like that.
I feel it.
Hawaiian
I
Punch
like
came out with a blue drink a while ago.
Yeah,
Years ago.
I drink
That
the hell
one's
out of that. I'd
bomb
mix.
as hell.
That'd be a mixer for me.
But what about
Little bit
when
of vodka?
candy apple pops came out? Remember those? Caramel apple pops.
Yes.
And you like, Ka! We pop out.
You break your fucking tooth on them. Yeah.
Yes. I think I watched a kid pull tooth out when I was little at the a softball game. It was already loose. It was one of those. I got a loose tooth out. Boom! That thing was
Boom.
out in that
Gone.
thing, man.
Yeah.
Done.
Too much.
Fucking apple. Get a caramel apple. Caramel apple pop.
Just
Red Tootsie Pops.
going back because I said I was gonna look it up. George Floyd and the officer that killed him did apparently work in the same club, according to the ex-club owner. Apparently, they both worked as security for 17 years.
They actually did know each other for a
So
relatively
they
long
knew
time.
each other. Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to be like, I said I was gonna get that,
Yeah.
and I didn't.
Obviously, that has to have something to do with it too.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So, some other stuff that's been going on
I
is
fell in love with
actually
Doja Cat again.
Doja Cat again. Oh,
You still
I fell in love
standing
with her.
Doja Cat?
I fell off for a little while because like I was like kind of like not over her.
You
but
know,
like,
she's like under fire for some
really.
stuff that she like. It was like a song that she did before
she
she
said
got
that she's
like
gonna
really popular.
the Say So. It was wait before
No,
she
no,
got
no. It
there.
was another song. It was before Say So. It something
Isn't she the one
a
that
song
she
called like
was
Didn't Do. Huh?
Something what? Like, go on, Panda. What do you say?
No, I wanted to hear what Arya said. I didn't
I
hear
was
it.
like, isn't she the one that did that? Like, I think it's like that one like this thing that was towards Mia Khalifa. Wasn't that Doja Cat or no? Was that someone else?
I don't
Maybe,
believe
like-
no.
No.
Look, Garrett, I found that piece. It's
She's
sitting right
the-
here. Look at that.
She's the one that's bitch on my cow.
Yeah, but you
Okay,
and then the Juicy song.
yeah.
But yeah,
Say So.
apparently she had a song called Didn't Do Nothing.
Mm.
And a didn't do is pretty much a slang term for like a black person that sits on their ass and doesn't do anything, so to speak. Like we complain and collect taxes or unemployment checks, etc., etc.
Gotcha. Someone working the system.
Yeah. Apparently she came out with a song back in the day from her words saying that she was called a didn't do growing up, and she turned it into a song to say that she wasn't, but I guess she worded it wrong. I didn't listen to it, so I don't have like a real say. But apparently it is everybody's considering it to be completely racist and like an alt-right thing. And she had to like announce an apology statement over Twitter over the song because it was something she did a long time ago and thought that it was like buried and nobody would ever figure out about it.
Dude, the internet never forgets, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like, I still think it's funny that like I guess all the Korean fans and stuff like that, they found out recently that like Joji is actually Filthy Frank. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't know that was Filthy Frank, and so they're like, how could we be listening to like they're doing Filthy Joji
Like
canceled. Yeah, they're doing like Joji canceled because of all the stuff that he did, like the whole like all the meme
That's
stuff.
on you. That's on you. He got you. You didn't see the freaky stuff, and all of a sudden you a fan? Nah, you can't go back. You're just trying to cancel how you feel now because you got
like
God.
everybody knew that he was Joji except these people, and
he even like openly announced that he's like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna stop doing Filthy Frank because I want to do music." And people were like, "We gonna miss you, but yeah, man, do you?"
And he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Like everybody's surprised him how like it actually like changed and
some really good music. Like fucking Run is a bop.
It is.
Dude, I love Run. Creativity is creativity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The music video is also pretty good too. I enjoy it. Just the whole limo scene is really nice.
But yeah,
that limo scene in the video is filmed really well.
There was a tweet I saw back in the Doja Cat thing because the Doja Cat thing happened, and then everything with the whole George Floyd happened maybe like a week or so after. And there's like a tweet that I saw that was like, "Yo, when all this George Floyd and everything is over, I didn't forget about you, Doja Cat," and I just thought it was kind of funny.
Oh, man.
it just reminds me of like every time I hear something like that, I always think of that guy. He's getting tased. He's like, "I'll get you, bitch." I love that. Like that's my favorite video right there.
There was a video in the riots, I think yesterday, of like some teenager like a skateboard being tased, and he just kind of like looks down and pulls the shit like out of his chest, just like unaffected. And I think they tased him again, and he's just still standing there.
It's just a big guy in the. It's a gym, right? It's a big black. It's a big black guy. It's at a gym. I think.
No. It's like a skinny, like white teenager. With a skateboard. It's like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, So another thing that happened this week actually was the rocket. Elon Musk and like all that stuff. They launched a rocket that isn't it the first
It's the first
non-helped by like
non-NASA. It's a commercial flight to space.
Yeah, so they're actually like people paid to get on the ship then. Just go to the International Space Station, right?
Yeah, it's a trip to the International Space Station. But I think SpaceX and NASA worked together for it.
They did.
But I think it's the first space launch that was docked with humans in I want to say X amount of years. I don't know the years, but it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it was next step to closer to going to Mars and doing our Mars thing, man.
Yeah.
Elon Musk literally wants to be buried on Mars.
He wants his son to be king of Mars. Which I just think Elon Musk is
Archangel 12.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Archangel 12, like X amount, blah blah, just a bunch of stuff. Like it'll be. I want to pick his brain. It's really interesting, all the stuff that he does and how innovative he is. And I think that it's funny how he actively is well versed in like talking with the public and stuff like that. Like, he as like
he's a very intelligent guy, but he has the coolness factor and he has the smarts.
Yeah.
9 years, by the way. First man flight to like space in 9 years.
I'm not talking to you today, you
know. There's that, and also another thing that's been going on lately is the really dumb stuff that's going on with Twitter. We were talking about it a little bit earlier before this, but Donald Trump is actually going against Twitter and is doing like an executive order to actually kind of make it so they can't fact check them, and it's pretty stupid.
Twitter, yeah.
Like I don't know. That whole scenario just seems really like every time I think of it, I just think of freedom of speech going down. If it's such a petty reason over getting fact checked. I mean, if you're somebody with that much power and stuff like that, people are gonna look at what you are saying and like they're gonna obviously have their own opinion, or they're gonna have like their own like correction on that stuff. You can't just keep on spewing nonsense, and if you do, you don't need to look at everything magnified times 10 that you actually want to take away this right from more than one person. The whole scenario is just something else.
I just see like ego thing. Like I can't imagine
it's
like
very petty
having to care so much about that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, he should care about trying to like state like the facts as a president, like in general. But like Twitter stuff is just like, I don't know.
Well, you know, like, the reason on like why that whole Twitter fiasco started. He had a tweet that Twitter blocked out because he called people that were protesting and everyone that was rioting thugs.
Did he call him yeah, I remember. Yeah. Like, wasn't it like a tweet like a week before that where like he was saying like, oh, you know, like these people, they're just looking for justice, but it needs to be like done calmly. And, like a week later, that's when he posted like the whole thug thing.
And he even put a quote in that tweet saying that when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Saying that the people who are looting, people that are doing all the riots and everything, pretty much the cops have the right to gun them down. And Twitter flagged that and removed it. They didn't remove it. They flagged it for inappropriateness, but you could still click on it and see the tweet. And so everyone could visibly see what he said. It wasn't something that he could hide. They made it so he couldn't get rid of that tweet. And he didn't like that. He considered it not fake news, because, you know, obviously that's the thing he says all the time, but pretty much in a way that he want. I don't know.
People could hold him to that, I guess.
I guess people to hold him to it, and that people just didn't. I don't know. I just think it was just in bad taste in general. If you're gonna say something like that, you should be held accountable.
Yeah,
like you are
the
president.
And that engine, as toxic as it is, that's there to keep the facts in line anyway. That's what that's there for. Is like, you type something in the internet, somebody gonna correct your ass, or someone's gonna have your back. Either way, it's gonna happen.
Like, I think that was good that they actually kept it rather than just like removed it for being inappropriate, because it's just like.
Well, there's also like there's ways that you can go into the past and stuff and see deleted tweets. There's like this website where it's like tweet history or something. It's something, but like if people try to delete something, that website will archive it. Yeah. And so you can actually go back and see what they have done and all that stuff. And that's how a lot of people find like the dirt and the previous things going on. Like one of the things that are actually happening as well, as we were talking about Twitter, is John Boyega was actually, or Boyega, is it? How do you say his name?
Boyega.
He is in hot water, or he has been in hot water as well, because he said like, I fucking hate racists, some of that, and from that it spiraled into like he was obviously very heated. It was after the whole thing happened, but he actually responded to a lot of tweets in a very negative manner, and it just made it seem more like blind rage other than just like other stuff, because he specifically said that he hates racist white people instead and stuff like that, because like it's just this whole thing from that, and like it became like very toxic in the behavior that he was expressing, and just like he's I wouldn't say that he's he's dumb or anything like that. I just think that he's going about it in the wrong way. I can definitely see his message, but at the same time,
the guy plays Flynn in Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Well, that goes right back to responsibility. Look how many eyeballs are on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People who have followers and stuff, like there's a certain part of those followers, like maybe 1% of them, not of the followers, but like 1% of their lives' attitude. They kind of like listen to what you say. They kind of like got your back on stuff. They kind of got you. You know what I mean? Like they feel you. They got the same energy as you. That's why they follow you in general. You know what I mean? You know, 'cause you're not a douche or whatever. And then you go to see them douchey. Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You know? Is he going about the right way? Probably not. Is his anger justified? At this point, in my opinion, fuck yeah, it is. But should he say I hate and do those other things and incite more hate? No, not at all.
Yeah. It's not just that he's saying the hate stuff. It's that he was specifically people would bring up racism in different countries, and he said, no, I hate like white racists and stuff like that. And
he narrowed it down then, huh?
He narrowed it down.
He categorized
that,
a specific group of people.
And then
exactly.
Like it was to the point that he was mainly specifically talking about this, and then when people would try to bring up other stuff, he'll say, oh, that's a petty reason or something like that, because a guy was saying like oh yeah, my girlfriend said that she hated whites, so I broke up with her. And he says, well, I'm not talking about your petty or your little relationship. I'm talking about all this stuff. And then he was
like basically attacking people that are like trying to support him.
Yeah, he was attacking. That's the main reason.
Trying to find common ground with him, and then he bit his head off.
Yeah, then that's the main reason why I'm saying like it's such a toxic tweet going into the comments and stuff like that. And then like some people were saying like, you know, they kept on bringing up the argument racism is racism, and it doesn't have to be just this, and just this whole thing was going on stemming from that. But that's why I'm saying that it seemed more like blind anger than all this stuff. Then he went to point that he
What we're
actually
going
did an Instagram live and he was saying like fuck these people or like and all that stuff.
Yikes, man.
Mm.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
we're going through, you know, it's gonna be hard to.
He looked real he looked real hood too. He had like cornrows and everything, and he's looking.
Oh, really?
Real, yeah, I was like, man, he sounds like he that's not
real one,
not
huh?
Finn. That's not Finn. It was looking. He was sounding real-ish. It was like something else. Yeah, like I don't know.
Did you cancel your DoorDash?
Finn to get real in here is what it is.
I texted him. He's like, let me see what he said exactly, and I don't know.
It has
He's
been.
like, you want Finn?
So
I finna whoop your ass.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
In every direction, there were cop cars coming nonstop, ambulances and fire trucks. Pretty unsafe. And like, please just ask for a refund right now. Is there loots and is there looting and criminal? I was like, this area is quite right.
Oh my god, this man's begging for you to cancel. Like, please, sir, I can't continue.
Sir, okay, the new I ordered a new DoorDash and canceled that one, and it's over here. So I'll be back in just a second.
Like, you see this man having to traverse over hot coals and fiery mountains and stuff like that. It's pretty much to throw the ring into the volcano, but the ring is actually already his food and the volcano's his house. But he's got to go all the way there to Mordor. And he's just like, no, I want it back.
You know, when it comes to stuff like that, I really wish
and they looted a Vaughn's in La Mesa.
What were you saying, Penna?
Oh no, I'm just saying with like stuff like that, I really wish I would draw because I always have like dumb ideas like that in my head. But like stupid memes.
Yeah.
Like again, like DoorDash man, full, I don't know, random DoorDash outfit, traversing a mountain, trying to like carry the bag of food out to Arya, just sitting on just laid back.
There's no I'm actually like, well, okay, I'm like right in the area where it gets kind of sketchy, but I'm right by a place called Santana, which is literally just like where all the rich people go in Santa Clara.
You will give me your food.
There's a Tesla supercharging station in it, along with like top tier. There's like there's a place called LB Steak. I think there's multiple of them around, but I don't know. That's a very well-known steakhouse. There's like this one international one called Fogo de Chao, which is like it's a Brazilian steakhouse with like all you can eat. Like people really bring you meat on the skewers and they cut it for you and serve it to you right there. It's like, oh man. So I'm like,
I think I think there's one in San Diego because we used to call it "fuck the cow."
Yeah,
that's why we used to go down there.
Sounds crazy.
And because basically they bring you skewers of meat and you're like, more meat, please.
Yeah, sadly, in this one there was like there was like a thing that's kind of like a coaster, but one side was red, one side was green. So you flip it over when you want it, like you flip it to the green when you want people to keep on bringing you food. It was like,
yep.
The one over here is like $100 per person, like just a flat rate $100.
That's all you can eat.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you guys have been to Benihana? Do you guys like that?
Oh yeah,
that's Aria's.
The food is so good, man.
It's so good, but it's so damn expensive.
So good, dude. I've been there 3 times, okay, and each time I've been there with a date. All right.
Oh,
and you're talking, dude. I've spent on one time. I'll never forget my bill. That when I walked out, what I paid was $180.
Just you?
So,
just me and a girl.
Okay, so you're paying for that.
Now they have like when I was there, it was years ago. There was like a combo you can buy per person. It was $79.99, and basically what it was, you paid that flat rate, and then you got a choice of a meat, a choice of a noodle, a choice of a drink, and like a dessert or something, you know. And I'll never forget, I got a whole Chateau Mignon for myself. It's a filet mignon with the lifter on it. Basically, it's the whole fillet, and I ate the whole goddamn thing, medium rare. I was like,
no.
Get it out here. Oh, so good, dude.
So last time I went, it was with my coworkers at the lounge, and like it's always fun to go with all of them, especially because like the owners are nice enough to pay for all of us and everything. But it's funny because it's like, yeah, get whatever you want. Don't worry about the bill or anything. Like, sure about that? Like, me and my friend Jeff, we both ordered 2 steaks each. So it's like, hey man, you said whatever.
Yeah, he did
The
say
best.
whatever.
Dude, that bill was expensive because we drank a lot also, and there was like 10 of us total.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure they had a bill of like close to $1,000.
Probably more,
Probably more.
honestly. Yeah.
Probably more.
Yeah,
I want steak. I haven't had a good steak in a while.
dude.
Yeah, I haven't had a really good one lately.
You have your own hookah. You still have you still do the hookah thing, Arya?
No, I haven't. Well, one, they're closed right now with the
Yeah.
whole COVID thing, and even once they probably
That's
open
true.
back, I'll probably go there
What
for
about
like
at home? You still have one at home?
Yeah, I got 2 at my house, but I can't smoke here. I used to have 7 at my house. I started getting rid of them.
Damn.
Why do you have so many?
It's like one, I liked it just because they look nice, so I bought them.
Yeah, you had like a dragon one and stuff like that.
I had a drag like the 2 that I have right now is one of my most expensive ones are just $300 because it's like all medical grade stainless steel. Which the reason why you want that is like when you wash it off, everything comes off, so the flavor's fresh whenever you smoke out of it. And the other one I got, it was out of stock for a year. So I desperately waited until it came back in stock just because it looks really nice. So, like it's all hand engraved and everything on it. It's dope.
Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah.
don't
smoke, kids.
It's an expensive. Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah. I was gonna
lounge
is that because you gotta keep buying hashish, right?
If you smoke at home, it's not that expensive. I mean, I guess it depends how often you smoke.
How much is the tobacco?
You figure you're buying coals and you're buying hashish.
So
consistently.
So let's say generally tobacco comes in 100 grams, and the average size bowl, let's just say 10. So you get about 10 bowls per, which you can smoke a bowl for about an hour or so. But that costs about, I think with tax and everything now in California, it's close to 20, 26, somewhere around there. But going to a lounge as a regular is expensive. Like,
yeah, each bowl is like $20 right there.
Yeah, so you $20 for the first bowl. Refill was at least like specifically here $8. And yeah, so you'd roughly, most people would spend at least $28. But
how much
there
is
was
your
one
own
guy I knew.
hookah?
He came in every day, smoked about 3 bowls, maybe even more sometimes a day.
Like I can imagine this guy has all like 3 hoses in his mouth.
No, it's just one. He smokes and watches like Netflix and does work. That's all but he would stay there for like 10 hours sometimes. But like I think one time he said he ended up paying for smoking there and also having tobacco to go. He'd also smoke at home at times. I think he said he $3,000 one month.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I was like, you're spending more than I make.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like the only reason why honestly I smoke there is because I can smoke.
Yeah.
I can pay.
Dude, I probably spent at least that when I was living in San Diego. I spent so much money on the weekends as far as buying beers. You can't get a beer in San Diego without it. If you want a good beer, it's $7-8 per pint.
Oh, even shitty beer in San Jose is $7-8.
And in general, when you're out with your friends, as far as guys were, you got one guy, and you take turns buying rounds.
Yeah.
You don't just go up and buy one beer because the lines are huge.
Yeah.
So you don't go up and buy one beer and then come back to your table. You go up and you say 2 or 3 or 4 of your friends, "Yo, you need a pint? You need a pint? You good? You good?" Dude, every weekend like that, talking about $60-$70 a night as a single guy. Woo! Adds up.
That was, I'm sure there's. So I remember when I went to Montana, beers were dirt cheap and they were damn good. They were like $2 beers. I was like, oh my god, yes. When I went for like a wedding. And Austin, Texas, at least last time I went during 4th of July, they were having like, I think it was like $1 or $2 Bud Lights. I'm like, fuck it, I'm down. Like,
Dude, PBRs, man. Tall, 32 ounces, cold and wet. That's all I need.
Cold and wet, huh?
Cold and wet.
Cold and wet. 32 ounces, cold.
Yeah. Cold and wet. Wet and warm, yeah.
Man, I'm
Ride
trying to
me
find
hard
out
and
if
put me away
if
wet.
RTX is canceled this year or not. I don't think it is.
Like I'll be surprised if it's not. Like so, a lot of people places have been actually reopening. I know that like a lot of gyms and stuff too. But I still don't know how this bar thing's gonna be. Like,
I can't like the
I
old like
can't
I've seen
see like restaurants and bars open up anytime soon.
like I think it's maybe very specific ones because I know there's some places that actually have opened up and it's normally spaces like large open areas like outdoors, which
Some gyms are opened up here in town already
that just seems like a bad idea.
for like
Yeah.
limited access, not like full on come on in, but family-owned gyms and Choose Fitness is open, and they count the people that are in there. You know what I mean? Like the 5
Yeah,
people
they
that
make sure
are
there's a
whatever.
limit, like basically reduced occupancy, which makes
But
sense.
at Louis
Yeah.
Vuitton and Gucci, they don't give a fuck. They let everyone through the windows, to the rafters. They let them all
The
in there, you
walls.
know?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, dude.
So we've been at it for like an hour and 20 minutes. Do you think this is a good stopping spot? Do you think that we've done all we should for the week?
Yeah.
I will end on one note. I just want to
Okay,
end on one
yes.
nice note. Something
All
nice to say is we are in a time in our lives that in history we've never been through this kind of thing, right?
As us
And
as like this generation.
As our society and our generation, yeah. I think it's just our duties from here on out to be loving and positive with our close family, our loved ones, and hopefully that energy is intoxicating.
Yeah.
Don't promote not that we're hateful people, but don't allow it around you either. Same time, have a voice, use it. So
yeah, definitely.
And with that, looking forward to the next one we do, and I love you guys. You guys are all awesome. So
Yeah, man. Same for everybody else.
Let's
well said, DJ.
So
it
pretty
actually
much
really helps, like kind of release some of the pressure. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's good to talk to people.
It
I'm a
goes
social
by real
person, you know
fast
what I mean?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought that it still feels like 8 o'clock, but it's 9 now. Like, oh. Yeah, pretty much everybody just say bye. Like we didn't do this last time. Last time DJ dipped and watched Netflix.
My bad.
Man, it'd be like that.
Dude, he got his food and he was done. Like I went in there, gave him his food, and he just okay guys, I'm leaving.
You should have given him the food yet. You had the power.
I should have held it in my hands.
You can't feed the bear, man. What's wrong with you?
He just goes to hibernation. I get it. Yeah, so everybody just like say bye, I guess.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Take care, everybody.
See
See y'all later.
Have a good
care
one.
of yourself.
I would
We'll
say
catch
see
you
y'all
next week if we
Yeah.
don't delay it.
That's what I was saying. See, he knows.
Hey, last time my grandma moved in, I had to do all that stuff.
It was a rough
Excuse.
weekend.
Oh God, I did. Okay, never mind. All right, I'll see you guys.
See you guys later.
See you guys.